that it kind of slows me down because my internet connection sucks anyways. Okay, so I'm really excited that you guys are on tonight. Thank you for being on. This is the first time that I'm ever doing like the whole Zoom by myself. And I was a little nervous, and then I was laughing at myself because I know all of you guys and I love all you guys, so I don't know why I was nervous. And I think I calmed down a lot. But anyways, I just wanted to go over, I'm going to try to get to two things tonight. The first thing is how I plan my month and get ready to get started for a really good month. And then the other thing is getting new coaches started right. And I'm going to hope that we're going to get to that if I don't talk too long on some of the other stuff. But if we don't, then I'm sure Kim won't mind it being the next call, that she can have another week to sit back and relax. So anyways, I'm going to jump right into it if you guys are ready. The first thing that I do is I plan my month. So I'm going to go into our team page and look in our cover photo and know that. And also I will go ahead and make sure that I get I didn't get it up last month, but get up what every challenge that we have going or what we know is planned ahead of time for everybody to see. So I go and I plan my month. I get my calendar out, pull out my month calendar, and just check the dates and write down when the challenges are. So I know when I need to be inviting to those and what I'm inviting to, like whether or not there's a 10-day, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, which I think we're trying to lean back towards 60 and 90 days at this point, or even longer if need be. But so I get all that on my calendar first, and then I set my goals for the month. I know what I plan to accomplish and how I'm planning on getting there. So if I say that I'm going to hit SE10 and Hunter's going to hit SE5, I know that I need to invite like 75 people if that's going to happen. So I get that down and have my plan as far as that is concerned. And then I also plan a personal development book. If I don't plan whatever book I'm going to be reading or have some sort of idea as to what I'm moving into when I finish the next one, then it just doesn't get done. So I have to make sure that that is on my list. And I think you guys almost always see when I put my goals in the group for the month, it will say I'm going to read whatever book it is that I plan on reading. And then I have, like I said, I have my SC goals, and then I have whatever goals that how I want to help build my team. So if I want to help somebody get to Emerald that month, or if I want to help somebody reach Ruby or Diamond, I make sure that I have that in there. And then I try to set some goals to make sure that I'm a better leader. Now, once I have all that done, I've got my month plan, my goals set, I'm going to look back over what I did from the month before. I just reevaluate my performance from the month before. So what did I do good? What can I improve on? And how do I plan to make it happen? Some things that I'm going to look over, like my social media strategies. I know for sure since Hudson has been born that I have not been on social media the way that I need to be. I'm not 2 to 3 times a day posting. I am recently trying to get back into it a little bit better, but that's one of the things that like I'll look at next month and say, okay, well, you didn't hit SE5, which I'm still holding out that I'm going to get it. But if I end up not hitting it, I'm going to look at it and be like, okay, well, part of it was that I wasn't sharing what I've been going through. And part of it was I felt like that I guess I didn't really have a whole lot to share because I was on my 6-week hiatus. But that's really just making excuses for myself. So anyways, then I'm going to look at what I did for personal development. I said I was going to read this book. Did I really do it? Did I get on the calls like I needed to be on the calls? Did I listen to every national wake-up call? Like look all that stuff over and then decide if you were intentional with your time. When you sit down to do your power hour, are you just scrolling through Facebook aimlessly, or do you have a plan? Like I've gotten that new bat out over the past couple days and have literally just as soon as I sit down for my power hour, I pull that bat out and I just start checking stuff off. Like, okay, first thing I need to do is go in and look and see who has a birthday and get those messages out. And then just keep going straight down it. Like, don't make it more difficult than it has to be. We have those bats, just do them. It's that easy. Just get one, figure out whichever one you like the best. There's dynamic duos. There's the bat that Sarah just did. I think it's called Shake It Up. That one's my personal favorite. And then I know there's several other ones, and I can tag or add some into the group page after the call is over if anybody is concerned about which one they want to use or whatever. But just make sure that you go back through and reevaluate whatever you did the month before. If you're not reevaluating, Crystal put something in the group the other day that I thought was awesome. Like, if you're not stopping to take the time to reevaluate what you did, then you're not going to grow. You're just going through, you did whatever it was that you were going to do, and you're never going to improve on it because you're not taking the time to look back at what you did and see whether or not you can improve on it. All right, so the fourth thing that I do is I make my invite list, and I have, now that I am more focused on growing my team than challengers, of course I still want challengers, but my biggest thing at this point is to grow my team. So I have a coach list and a challengers list. And then, like I said before, whatever my SC goals are, I'm going to go back in and look and see how many people do I need to help to reach my goal. So if your goal is SC5, my guess is you probably need to be inviting like 35, 40 people. Would that be your guess, Kim? I mean, I guess it depends on what your closure rate is, but somewhere around 35, 40 people would be what would be good if you're trying to get to SC5. So know that, and know that your list needs to be that long. If you're planning on adding 4 coaches, or even just say 2 coaches, then you know that your list is going to have to be like 10, 15, 20 people. You can't say, I'm going to add 2 coaches and invite 2 people to the coaching opportunity. It doesn't work that way. Nobody, not even Kimberly, who is rock star at getting people on her team, is inviting 2 coaches and getting 2 coaches on board, I promise. So just make sure that those are going, whatever your goals are, that you have as many invites that go with it. And then just something to touch on that I know we've talked about a lot, and Kimberly, of course, has talked about on all her inviting calls, but it doesn't have to be a brand new list of names every time. Just remember that. We keep telling you that because we don't want you to think that when Kimberly and I say we invited 60 people this month, we're not telling you that we found 60 brand new people, we formed relationships, we invited that. Like, that's not possible. It's everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day, and we're not getting all that done in 24 hours. So you're going to have your people that you've invited in the past that weren't ready yet, or they were no's before. And then you also are going to start forming some people. My list of 50 is all old. Exactly. Right. So I even started this month because, again, like I said, I'm not giving up until it's over, but there's, 3 to 4 hours left at this point. But I started my list. I made my list a couple days ago, and I've already started forming people for next month, so that whenever my invite does go out to them, maybe 2 weeks into the month or whatever it is, that they've got some sort of relationship with me, and it's not just, hey, this is totally out of the blue. And there's not to say that you can't do some of those totally out of the blue invites, but just be working towards forming the people and getting the people into the invites later on. And again, you can do whatever you want to do. Kimberly does 60, 50 names at the beginning of the month. That is what I used to do, and I loved it. Right now, in this season of my life, with 8-week-old and a 2.5-year-old running around, I'm not sitting down and getting 50 of anything done at one time. So that's why I've gone back to using the bat and checking it off every day and doing 2-3 people every day. So just find what works for you. There's not one right way to run the business. There is whatever works for you. Fit it in your mom cracks, fit it in the cracks from work, like Colleen and Carissa. I know you guys have a lot going on with work. So if you were to take this bat and sit down with this bat and just do that and know that, okay, for 1 solid hour, I just work my business that way, it's going to be different than if you try to sit down and do 60 names. Because I know that that's probably harder for you guys, whereas Kimberly and I normally have more time to be able to sit down and do all of that at once. Okay, and then the very last thing that I do, the 5th thing that I do each month, is check in with my team and check in with my challengers. And I just want to get with everybody and see, as far as my coaches are concerned, I want them to evaluate last month, know what they think that they did good, what they think that they need to improve on, just to know that they're looking at that kind of stuff, they're thinking about that kind of stuff, and that they're planning ahead for the new month. And then as far as the challengers, it's the same thing. It's just on the challenger level. I want to know what worked for them. I want to know what didn't work for them, assess their results, see, okay, is it time for them to get a new program? Is it time for them to make sure that their Shakeology is coming in more often, or not as often if they're not drinking it as much as they should be? But whatever it is, just assess their goals and make sure that they are ready to go for the new month when the new challenges are rolling around. So, okay. Luckily, I think we're definitely going to get to both of them because apparently I'm not talking about things as long as I thought I was going to be. But anyways, I'm just going to go over that again really quickly. Getting started right for the month. First, I plan my month. Do you guys have a script of sorts for assessing challengers' goals at the end of the month? No, I don't think we do. Kimberly, you don't know of anything that we have like that, do you? Yeah, I don't think we do, but I mean, it wouldn't be hard to set up. I mean, it's just, you're just going to go in. Kimberly, do you want to jump on real quick? You're just going to go in and ask them, I mean, just realistically, how do you think you did for the month? Like, you're asking them to evaluate what they did for the month. So, hey, how do you think you did? Say that they have just been, I guess the biggest point is to make sure that they're not hitting a plateau. If they need to change to some other program or whatever, that way you can make sure that it's time for them to change to a new program. Let's go ahead and get that done, because they are going to hit plateaus. It's going to happen if they have been doing this for a long time with you. If they've been doing 21-day fix for 6 months now, it's probably time to move on to something else. So just check that stuff with them, like see where they feel that they can improve, and then ask what you can do to help out with that. I did ask Summer to get a questionnaire she sends to new coaches before getting right started call. Yeah, I like the idea of having that. Okay, so any more questions on that before I go on to the getting a new coach started, right? No, you guys are good. Okay, so I know that I uploaded this into the group a while back, but I made a checklist. I want to say it was probably before Hudson was born, so it's probably around about like 2 months old in there. So if you go into the files tab, you'll find it. I think it says getting new coaches started right checklist. But what we're going to do, first of all, you want to give them a very warm welcome into the page and tell a little bit about them, and then encourage them to get in there and tell a little bit about themselves, where they are in their journey, whatever they have going on. And then we're going to send a welcome email, which Kim and I both should have a copy of this, and we could upload it into the group for you guys too. It'll have the link to the 7-day new coach training that I believe is on Everything with Heart now. There was a little while there where you could get it emailed to them, but I don't think that you can do that anymore. I think they just have to go into Everything with Heart. And also, Amy set up, I think it's strengthenyou.com. is another new way that they can do this. And it just, Strengthen You is set up where they go in and they decide what they want to be. Like they say, okay, I'm just going to be a discount coach, and it tells you whatever steps they need to do for that, all the way up to, I think I'm going to be a career coach, and every step that they need to do as far as that's concerned. So strengthenyou.com or everythingwithheart.com is the first thing, just to get them started. That's going to tell them how to get their website set up, change to EFT, and all that kind of stuff. And then the next thing, and the most important thing, is the getting started right call. You usually want to do this, like, I would say 3 to 4 days after they get signed up, because you want to figure out where they're going, what they want, before you're going to go ahead and, like, you don't want them to want to be a hobby coach and you're sending them the steps to how to be a career coach. We got to find out their goals first. So on the getting started right call, you want to look for finding out what their why is, because that's what drives us in everything. Drives our challengers. It drives us as coaches. That's what's going to drive everybody. So find out what their why is. And then you want to find out what they want to accomplish with the business. Do they want to be a hobby coach? Do they want to be a career coach? Are they just in this for the discounts? Or somewhere in between, and that's fine. And then we all can together figure out what the best route to go is. If it's like an in-between thing, I'm sure that Kim and I would be happy to help you guys figure out exactly what to show them and what not. And then you want to set expectations.
Can I say something else?
Yes. Go ahead.
I don't want to say what you're going to say, but I was on a call. Yes, this is where I don't do well on the getting ready to start call. Like, I struggle here. So, like, to the point where I probably need to put an apology in Team Ignite for all my coaches. But I was on a call yesterday with this very topic. So I didn't know you were going to talk about this, but it's literally my 2 pages of notes before you were going to say. So I was just going to say everything that she said on the call, this was Summer, but she was taking it from what Janelle Summers says to do on her call, so she kind of knows what she's doing. She said to make an impact on the new coach call, reserve like an hour for the people, which seems like a lot, but like really give them the time that they need. So to reserve an hour for them, to start off by letting them know like that they can trust you, that they can do this, all that kind of stuff. Like, is this simple? Does it work? Can I do this? Like, you need to affirm all of those things and all their fears. And you probably knew some of their fears signing up, like what that's, you know, the time, maybe time was an issue. I'm not a salesperson. I still have 50 pounds to lose. Like, address those fears and let them know it's okay. Like, you're going to help them use that to their advantage, and we're going to work in the mom cracks and all those sort of things. And then she does refer to this form that she has them fill out beforehand, and that's the form that I asked to get from her. So I don't have that yet, but I'll certainly share the form that she has them fill out. And then she, before the call, so I jumped into the call, my notes are all over the place, but she does, after the form, she sends them a 2-minute video, and it's not a standard video. It's like directly to the person. So I'd send a video to Megan and I'd be like, hey Megan, I'm super, super excited to welcome you into Team Ignite. I'm going to add you in, give you an introduction, and I'd love to tell you to jump in, say a little bit more about yourself. I know that you're scared about the time that this is going to take having a new baby, but I don't want you to worry about that. Like, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to help you with the training. I'm going to help you with all the first. I'm going to help you with the first invites. I'm going to help you with the first social media posts. So just know that you can come to me and come to the team, and we're excited to get started. So, I mean, that was like a minute, like just quick, 2-minute video. And know and I don't know if this is on the form, but talk about what their fitness goals are for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And I think this is something that Chad and Summer are really getting back to since they're finishing Hammer and Chisel. And I think it's important that we constantly reevaluate ourselves on our own journeys and where we are, and not just like, okay, how did my invites go, or how did this go, but like, how am I doing on my physical journey and my physical transformation and things that I want to be able to show that I'm progressing. So ask people what their goals are that way so that you can hold them accountable for that as well. Knowing how many hours they want to work a week. Like, how many hours do you have to give to this? Like, some people have said, I don't have a lot of time, and then I'll ask that question and they'll tell me 10 hours and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's a lot of time. Like, they think that they have to be working 40 hours. Like, 10 hours for a new coach, I think that's amazing. Like, I didn't do that. So if someone's able to say that, like, that's not a problem. Like, we can make that work, but know what they want to work. If they can only do 3 hours, good. Let's concentrate on what they should be on. Should it be this call? Should it be Summer's call? Should it be the national wake up call? Like, let's figure out where they need to plug in. What time do you have to put in, finding the mom cracks, all that. Know their personality and Jim. I don't know if she sends them the test in advance. I think she does, but she acted like, I don't know that she knew. She was like, you need to get off the phone and know what their personality or Jim is and what motivates them and how to speak to them. So I would start by sending them the test, I guess. Kind of threw me off, but she was like, what do they do for a living? At this point, signing someone up, I know what they do and if they like it or not. Like, I've formed them enough. But I think Janelle Summers and Summer are more in a place where they're getting a lot more leads of people that they don't know. So, but knowing like what they like about their job, what they don't like about their job, do they want to, there's coaches that I know, they love their job. They have no intention of leaving their job. That doesn't mean they don't like coaching and having the extra money to pay off debt or go on vacation, but they're not looking to replace their job. I have other people that are long-term looking to replace their job. So it's good to know like kind of where they are. And then set up the expectation to help, expectation that you expect them to help you run at least one group this month. Help you. You're not going to set it up for them and do everything. They're going to help you run a 5-day or a 10-day or a 30-day. They're going to have a day assigned, or they're going to be actively participating and setting it up or learning how to set it up or something like that. Make that expectation. and the expectation that you want them to aim to have 3 people in there, because that gets the SC goal going right away. You're going to do all the first with them, with, like I told you, like talk about all that you'll be there, and then set up the expectation that in 30 to 60 days, we're going to get you to SC5, we're going to get you to Emerald, and we're going to have your shakes paid for. If you set those expectations by doing this, you're going to have all that, and that's what I know that you're capable of. It's an expectation. It's something that is simple. You're going to help them with, and they can trust to come to you to get it done. So those are my notes. I don't want to talk anymore because I feel like I took too much of your time, but that's it.
No, that's actually perfect because it's all in addition to things that I was going to say. Or there was at least some good extra points in there. Okay, so the getting started right call, find out their why, what they have to what they hope to accomplish with their business, and I do love throwing in there where they are at as far as their fitness is concerned. Definitely a really important thing. And then set expectation and goals, and then you're going to help with their open for business posts. And you guys should realize that the open for business post is basically the, hey, I've decided to become a Beachbody coach. Tell your story about it. I guess you don't start with, hey, I've decided to become a Beachbody coach, but tell your story, where you're at, sharing that, help them form all that so they're not just throwing something out there that you guys could have worked on together better. And then just make sure that they have a personal development plan. I know that everybody that's on this call right now realizes how important personal development is in our business. So make sure that they have a plan. I personally send their first book to new coaches, but not everybody does that. And you don't have to do that, but do make sure that you know that you've set up, hey, you need to read the Compound Effect, get it ordered. I think you should have it finished 2 weeks from now, because we all know the Compound Effect's not that big of a book anyways. Okay, so the next thing that you would do is you're going to have them make their list and help them with their initial invites. I always have my coaches make their list, recognize whoever their hot market is, and then know that we're going for those hot market people first, the people that you can go to and you can say, hey, I've just gotten started with my new Beachbody business. I'm just looking for a few people to join me for my first challenge group. I know that you would be awesome in helping to support me. Are you willing to join me for this? And I know that in my first 3 months, just with doing those invites, I hit SE5 my first month and 10 the next 2. And that was literally just going to my closest family and friends and saying, hey, I need you guys to help me out with this. This is my new business adventure. I think that it's definitely going to work out really well for me. And I would love for you guys to be my guinea pigs. Tell them something like that. Okay, then 2 weeks after the getting started right call, you're going to have a follow-up call to that. You're going to discuss how everything's going, how they're doing with their goals, what you can help out with, and anything else along those lines. Just get them going with that. The next thing that I would do is make sure they get invited to further trainings. And we don't have as set of a training schedule as we would like right now, but I do think that Kim and I are pretty flexible, that like if you guys really need something to get your people into, we're going to find a group for them. Just got started with the Push to Emerald group and the end of 2015 Push to Diamond group. So there's definitely something that we can get people in right now. And then you want to make sure you celebrate their victories along the way. And I know that a lot of you guys are really good about this, but when they start their first invites, get in the team page and say, gosh, I'm so proud of her. I know it's totally out of her comfort zone, but she got out there and invited 20 people today, and that is awesome. Get in there and shout out their first challenge pack sale. Get in there and shout out just anything that is like, if they did the 3-day refresh and they had awesome results, get in there and say that. If they're kicking butt with their fitness goals, get in there and say that, because that might be all it takes to spark somebody that was a discount coach into getting excited and wanting to tell other people about it, because that's what we're doing. We know that we're not selling, we're sharing. And if these people get really excited about their results, they're going to want to share them with their friends and family. And that's where we're going to go with that. So that's basically everything I have as far as that's concerned. Like I said, I know that there is that document that I put in the team page. If you just go into the files section, that's basically a checklist with all that stuff that I just went over, with the exception of what the Getting Started Right call is. And I think Kim and I can definitely work on that for you guys once she gets it from Summer, and anything else that we can think of that we want to add to it, we can do that. So that's basically all I had for you guys, because like I said, I talked a lot faster than I thought I was going to. So any questions from anybody? Anything, like Adrienne, do you have anything? Because I know you have a brand new girl that you're working with on Getting Started Right.
I think that you pretty much covered it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I hear you.
That was actually really, really good, because now I know I need to follow up with her, that 2-week time frame, which is coming up soon. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule that. Pretty much everything that you and I had already emailed about, I knew, so that's good. And then Kimberly added a few things that I didn't know. So,
yeah, Kimberly added some things that I didn't even think to put on there. So those are awesome. And that's why I love this big, gigantic team that we have all these resources to pull from to make sure that we do it all spectacularly. Yeah, we can update the checklist. Yes, absolutely. So one last thing that I just wanted to mention to you guys, and that I know most of you guys that are on here right now are probably in that Push to Diamond group. But I really am loving that we're going in there and doing the Push to, not the Push to Diamond, sorry. We're going in and evaluating like everything that we're supposed to be each day. So you're evaluating, were you a product of the product? And if you were a product of the product, and you're going to rate yourself on that, like, today I would give myself a 10 because I had my shake, I got my workout in, and I ate clean all day long. So I'm a 10 on that as far as that's concerned today. And then personal development. I know I read everything and I caught a national wake-up call. I read like 15 pages and I caught a national wake-up call. So I'm a 10 on personal development. In social media, I even actually get to give myself a 10 today too, because I had some good posts that got some engagement today, which I cannot say for the past few weeks. But anyways, I like the idea of just going in there and evaluating that every day. And even if you don't want to get in the team and share it with the team, which you guys can definitely get in there and share. There's no reason why we can't share stuff like that with each other. But if you don't want to get in there and share it, just make sure that you're doing it every day. If you don't have time to do it every day, definitely make sure you're doing it on a weekly basis. And like I said, make sure you really sit down and get honest with yourself on a monthly basis about what you've been doing and what you need to do different going into next month. So if I was giving myself an honest evaluation on September, I didn't hit my SE 10 goal. I didn't hit my money goal that I had plans. I'm about 30 pages away from finishing my book, so I'm going to count that as like one thing that I actually did get solid done. And I just basically just pull out your goal sheet every month and look at where you're at and see, did I do what I needed to do? Could I have done better? And be realistic with yourself. Like, I know the reason I'm not hitting even SE5 is because I didn't send out as many invites as I needed to. I got caught up in a lot of stuff when I sat down to do my power hours, and I just didn't get things done the way that I wanted to. And now I know going forward, I've got to do better with that. And that's what made me, I've been playing since Hudson arrived. I've been playing with what I'm going to do to make it work, because everything is different. I need to do my power hour. Now I need to redo my power. You need to start doing power hours. Is that what you're saying, Carissa? Yes, let's start having power hour, or 30 minutes. If you don't have an hour every day, do 30 minutes, do something. Because that's when it all adds up, you guys. Like, that's the compound effect, what we're always talking to you guys about. Like, if you're not doing it every single day, it's not going to compound. Kimberly can hit SC 25 in 1 month because she has been inviting every single day for 2.5 years. Well, not every day, but at the beginning of the month. And you didn't hit SE 25 this month, but I bet you hit SE 10. So anyways, you did it?
very hard month. I should. It says 9 still. It's making me nervous, but I should. It was not easy, and I definitely invited 100 people. Definitely invited 100 people.
How many people did you go back towards at the end of the month?
I'm starting tomorrow for October.
Did you hear me?
What?
How many people did you go back towards the end of the month and invite, though? Did you do all 100 at the beginning of the month?
No. I've been inviting all month. And you know what? Like, I did not invite first last month. Like, I gave myself a week, and then I invited like 10 or 20, and then nothing happened. And then, like, it just started to compound because I really need to do my invites at the beginning of the month. So, no, but I really invite all month. Like, I say that I sit down and do 30 or 60, but to me, like, that's just the first conversation. No one ever writes back and says, yeah, sign me up. Like, unless we've already been talking about it all last month and it's been established that, like, they're going to start the beginning of October. But, I mean, that's just a starting point for the conversations and the follow-ups and responding to the people, like, that don't talk back to you, and, you know, the people that say they're, I mean, this one girl, you know, I have 3 people that said they were going to sign up this month that haven't. So they'll be hearing from me tomorrow. Like, okay, well, the month passed, like, but now it's October. You know, there's new specials. Here they are. But that's the perfect way for me to be like, hey, you know, like you said you were going to start last month, and I know that didn't work out, and that's fine. I just want to give you an update of what the new specials are, because, you know, PIO is no longer available at that price. The 3-day refresh isn't available at that price, you know, and say what is. And I see what they're doing. They're trying to get people to do Autumn and Sagi workouts in preparation for Hammer and Chisel. And we should use that to our advantage and push that and just be like, here, like, you know, post pictures and say, you want to get ready for Hammer and Chisel in December? Well, it's time to start working out with Autumn and Sagi, or Autumn or Sagi, and starting Body Beast or 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme if you've already done the fix. It'll prepare them for it.
Did they already announce the October specials? I'm guessing you.
Yes, I put them in the group. It's 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, and Body Beast. Is there something else that I'm missing? I think that's it. They're all $140. The 21 Day Fix comes with like a free insulated bag, and the Kickstarts are $180 if you add refresh. So, but it comes with like a free insulated bag, and then the Body Beast comes with free something, I think. Or maybe they had a special Canadian offer too. I don't know. I posted it in the group.
Yeah, I missed it. My phone has been dead since like 5 o'clock, so. All right, guys. Well, if nobody has any other questions, I guess we're going to let you go. Thank you all for being here. I'm so glad you showed up for my first Zoom.
You're welcome.
Even though you didn't know. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll get the recording up for any of your coaches later on tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. So have a good week. Everybody get ready for October.
Thanks, Megan.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.